This week's Getting Grown is brought to you by Poshmark, the easiest way to buy and sell fashion items. Download the free Poshmark app to score amazing deals from tons of brands, or list your own items and wait for the offers to roll in. Shipping is fast, easy, and is all handled directly through the app. It absolutely is. I can attest to Poshmark. I have sold items on Poshmark. It is very, very easy to the point where they send you the shipping label. They make sure that they check everything to make sure it's authentic. And it's really the easiest way to buy and sell your goods. So today you can get $5 off your first purchase when you enter the invite code GROWN5 when you sign up. We used to talk and laugh all night, girl. What happened to those days? Did they all just fade away? Holding you in my arms made me feel so happy. Then you said you had to go. What's wrong? Baby, I need to know. But now is the day I wish you can come back to me to make us share.
I should have just started talking.
Long gone away, and now I'm missing. Still I'm missing you.
Oh my God. Oh dear God.
I miss you.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm talking to you, Keia.
No.
I miss you.
I saw you like 2 days ago.
In all month.
Wholly unnecessary.
Welcome back to another episode of Getting Grown. Praise the Lord, niggas.
We're tardy for the party like Kim Zolciak. Whoa.
Never.
Whoa. But for a good cause.
Yes.
So praise the Lord, niggas. Welcome back to Getting Grown with Jade and Keia. I'm Keia.
I'm Jade.
And we're back to talk about adulting, the good, the bad, the ugly, the tests, the trials, the twists, the turns, the temptations, and the taxes of being an adult in the year of our Lord, 2018, man. It's just about December, man.
It is December.
It is just about December. We've got like a day left in December, and then 2018 will be a rhapsody in the basement.
It will.
That seems crazy to say.
It absolutely will. We are literally getting ready to head into 2019. 2018 just got here.
Literally. Like, I feel like I just left Watch Night Service, went to get myself something to eat, and then came on home as a Christian aunt. But, man, like literally, like the next Watch Night Service is in like 30 days. And
it really is.
Be like 2019. So crazy right now.
I'm excited though, because I feel like 2018 gave me more than I expected it to, and so I'm excited to see what 2019 is going to bring for myself and for us.
Listen, I mean, the Lord has shown out, and you know what scares me and excites me at the same time is that people keep saying, you know, the best is yet to come.
I mean,
we're
that's
just
it.
getting started. So I'm just hopeful and prayerful that we can continue, you know, the course. And shout out to all of you guys for riding with us and taking this journey with us into the unknown of whatever Getting Grown has materialized.
Absolutely.
And we're just having a good time, you know, figuring this out with you all. Thank you for all the love and support. You guys continue to listen to this raggedy show week after week after week. And, you know, I can't tell you how much it means to me.
It really means the world. I mean, whether we're late, on time, whatever, you guys are always there and ready and have been super supportive and loving. And we are truly, truly grateful because there would be no show if there was no support. So
absolutely. So shout out to y'all. And now that we have, you know, totally mushtified the opening of the show, we can settle on in. But how are you doing, sis? I feel like I'm stupid saying that because I've talked to you every day.
literally been in your face every single day.
We have just been so full of one another. And it's been an awesome time. Shout out to our friends, man. We had an awesome time in St. Lucia this past weekend. Having a bit of a break, a bit of a vacation, much needed for me. This is the first one I've been able to take all year. So I sure do appreciate the time to just sit around and do nothing in wonderful warm weather.
Yes, we celebrated Fiorinacia's birthday.
Happy birthday, Fiorinacia.
And it was a grand time. You know, it is always, I have to say with our friend group, it is just lovely. Like, just being in the company, not even to just be super sappy, but it's just lovely to be in the company of your niggas. You know what I'm saying? And, like, I got some good niggas in my corner. I really, really do. I love my friends. I cherish them, and I'm grateful for them. And, you know, it goes far beyond internet or podcasts or any of that. Like, these are my friends. You know what I'm saying? These are my chosen family. These are the people who I can leave my child with, and I trust that she's going to be just fine. I don't have to worry. These are people who have been there for when my child was born. These are people who have been there for my wedding. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm very grateful for my friends. I'm very, very grateful for every single one of them.
Me too.
Including the few who are not able to make the trip. You know, because of obligations and duties. But, like, I'm grateful for my friends as a whole. And as I get older, I'm really appreciative. And I'm, you know, I know that I have a special group of friends. Not for any other reason other than that they are just really great friends. Agreed. So, it was a great time.
Absolutely. I mean, we get questions a lot. I mean, I know I do. Even when I do my little things on Instagram, the questions things on Instagram, I almost always get asked, how do you make friends as an adult? And I think that this is an awesome question to ask. But I feel like people are always disappointed in the answer, in that it's not something that I ever set out intentionally to do. I never woke up in the morning and said, I'm going to meet new people and make new friends today.
Not at all.
I believe that you find friends by first being committed to being you in every space, being authentically you in every space. And second, you find friends by being comfortable with doing things by yourself, doing things that you love by yourself. And I think when you are out living your life, doing things that you love and you enjoy by yourself, you honestly attract like-minded people with similar interests, or like-minded people with different interests, but like-minded people who you connect with. People. Absolutely. And I think people, you know, who I've had, you know, being as old as I am, I've had lots and lots of friendships. And I'm appreciative of all of them. I think all of them have had value and significance in my life.
Absolutely.
But, you know, you get to a certain age and you feel like, you know, you want there to be alignment in who you are and who you are evolving into, and your friend group and the people that surround you with. And I know for me, y'all know who I am. Like, I'm a very prayerful person. I found myself in situations where I was having different contentious, strained, and stupid, petty fights with people who I were friends with, and it just became exhausting. And I remember riding in my car. This is when I had my little Kia Rio named Rodney.
Yes.
And I was riding in my car one day, and I legitimately was praying. I might have been. I feel like I know where I was. I was on the Sprain coming out of Westchester into the city. You know where the Sprain turns into the West Side Highway.
Yep.
Right there, like by Dykeman.
Okay.
I was literally riding through that toll booth and all of that, and I was literally praying, like, Lord, send me the people who I'm supposed to be around. And it was that simple. And I felt like, you know, it didn't all happen at once, but slowly but surely, I started connecting with people. And it takes one. Like, I connected with Tay and XD first, and then from there, you know, you started meeting different people and different friends of friends. And pretty soon, you know, even those connections and friendships go through their processes of evolution and timing and all that stuff. But you end up with this core group of people who you can call on and count on, people who show up in your life consistently, people who don't question you, your character, your integrity. And those are the people who I feel like, were the answer to the prayer that I prayed, there on just past Dykeman Street on the West Side Highway. So that being said, I don't mean to get all deep, but just like friends and friendships, cultivating those relationships is a huge part of adulting, right? Because it's about that vetting process. It's about growing and understanding where you fall short in being a friend and where the friends that you have fallen short in being a friend. All that stuff is really grooming and maturing and helping you to see what kinds of relationships you need in your life. And that's what's up. So all that to say, I'm grateful for all that, the way that my life has been orchestrated to this point, the people who I've been connected to, the people who the Lord has disconnected me from, whether temporarily or indefinitely. I feel like everything serves its purpose.
Absolutely.
And like you said, I'm just super grateful heading into, the very last month of this year and looking forward to 2019 and all the things that are going to come with that. I'm just excited, man. Things are good.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited for everybody that I love. I know that it's getting ready to be great. And with all of that bowl of oatmeal out of the way, we can get right on into some good old trash.
Let's do it.
A clean up woman. Ooh, trash is full today. So, we'll start off with something good. A couple good things. Viola Davis is going to play Shirley Chisholm in the Fighting Shirley Chisholm movie for Amazon.
Yes, I saw that today. I'm thrilled.
I'm so excited. Cannot wait. Viola Davis.
It's going to be life-receiving.
Listen, I mean, I'm like, who else could have?
It's going to be so good. I can't wait because Shirley Chisholm is one of my favorite people anyway.
Yes.
And I feel like Viola Davis is going to capture all of the idiosyncrasies of her black woman.
Let me tell you something. She's going to capture every movement. She's going to capture the whole essence.
So woman. It is so good.
It is so good. Such a good decision.
Listen, if y'all know any history buffs out there, y'all know Shirley Chisholm was good for a read. And she used to get the girls together all the time. And it's going to be so good. I can't wait.
And what's one of the most used gifts so far? Viola Davis getting up with her purse.
That's right.
Getting niggas together silently. So I cannot wait to see her depiction of Shirley Chisholm. I know that it's going to be a performance. It's going to be theater.
Lit. It's going to be lit.
Nigga Peace Theater. Okay. Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade had a baby.
They sure did.
By surrogate. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you how proud Gabrielle Union is to be a mother.
I feel like she deserves.
She does.
She has fought the good fight.
Sis has gone through it, and Absolutely. She truly, truly deserves. She has created an Instagram page for this baby. It's got
Absolutely.
Quotes.
And why not?
She looks just like a daddy. Like, it's just a beautiful thing, and I'm very happy for their family. So shout out to them.
Shout out to them.
His sons are loving all over the baby. You know what I'm saying? She is an addition to their family, and I'm very happy for them because I feel like they deserve.
Absolutely.
So I know a lot of people haven't wanted to talk about this, and we don't have to go into all the details of it because I don't think that's the most important thing about this at all. So, have you heard about Dwight Howard?
So, okay, I have not. So when I woke up, was it Monday morning or Tuesday morning? Mm-hmm. Crystal told me about it.
Okay.
But that's all. Like, she just told me that the internet was abuzz with some mess related to Dwight Howard, and she gave me like the very broad strokes of what the story was, and I just left it right there.
So a young man has tried to out Dwight Howard and say that he had a relationship with him. Leak recorded conversations. He made claims that Dwight Howard was into trans women and men, and that he's gay. Okay, so whatever. People are still childish. They're still gonna buzz. They're still gonna say what they're gonna say. My whole thing about the whole situation is that it is never anybody's place to out anybody. Now, initially, when I first heard this story, I was like, because I heard it from the vantage point that Dwight Howard had tried to put a hit out on a translate, and I don't know, all kinds of mess. And I was like, well, that's not right. Like, to cover up, like, why would you? But it leads to a bigger conversation of, well, no, that kind of behavior is never okay. That is not okay, and we need to protect our trans brothers and sisters at all costs. You know what I'm saying? Because they deal with a lot. But it is not your place to out anybody. And this is the problem, especially in the Black community as it pertains to homosexuality and making people feel ashamed to the point where it goes, and it's the way in which it was done. It's like, okay, so did you ever, if you did have this relationship with Dwight Howard, I'm not judging Dwight Howard for having a relationship with a man, but if you did have a relationship with Dwight Howard, was it ever a pure relationship? Because why were you recording conversations that you were having with him? And why are you releasing this information as if it is something to tarnish him when you already know how homophobic the world is by nature? You know what I'm saying? Mm. And it's like we already suffer so much with a lack of knowledge and understanding in so many things in the Black community as it pertains to that, and what people and struggles people are dealing with, as well as just lifestyle. Like we struggle with that as a people and how to deal with that. And a lot of it is ignorance. But if you are, especially if you're in the LGBT community, why would you, LGBTQIA, I hope I didn't miss anything. Why would you do this in a manner in which you're like, oh, well, look, let me spill the tea on Dwight Howard. Like, look, this nigga is gay. You're making him, you're already, if Dwight Howard is closeted, as well as so many other Black men, why do you think they are? Why do you think they feel ashamed to tell the world who they really are? Right. Because you all are treating them like this instead of being welcoming, instead of trying to help to ease the situation and help them how to cope with a world that's already against. Why would you do that? So that's the conversation that I want to have about that particular story. It's not about, oh, Dwight Howard is gay. It's about, why are we treating Black men as if that is something that's wrong? If we are also trying to advocate for, people to be themselves, it's not cool.
The whole thing is some bull swanky. I'm gonna tell you why. Well, I mean, you laid out why, but I just feel like you said, we unfortunately, what society has, what individuals and people in society has come to value more than anything else is attention and money, and people are willing to stoop to such vile and desperate and like they're just willing to do whatever it takes to have some level of acclaim and notoriety, even if it's for the most terrible reasons. And it's really sad when you think about it. Yeah, it's just bull. It's so stupid, and I really wish that we can get to a place where we would learn, like we would just practice the ministry of minding our own business, being so captivated and consumed with our own lives and our own purpose, and blowing up the timeline with that versus trying to just, be so messy and dirty. Like Nene said, you never win when you're dirty. Never. Right. So I don't know what this young man expected.
This is what I'm saying. Like, what were you trying to get out of this? Like, if you really were having a relationship with him, and there was some sort of mutual understanding that you guys were romantically involved, then why would you record conversations with somebody that you love? Why would you do things to set them up in the future? Why would you do that? And it's not your place to out anybody. It's not your place to out anyone. So I had to sit with that for a while and like figure out how I felt about the situation, because it's like you hear about this man putting hits out and you're like, this is not all right. But then I'm like, you know what? Black men act like this because we acting like this. This ain't cool. It's not all right, and it doesn't make an excuse. It definitely is not an excuse at all for any harm to be done, like I said, to the trans community whatsoever. That's not what I'm saying. I'm well aware of the countless and disturbing murders that there have been in the trans community because of sick people out there. But another large conversation we need to have is stop making people feel ashamed for who they are. And that, because it's never in any form, fashion, or capacity for who these people are, whether they be trans, whether they be gay, whether they be into snakeism. I don't know. We need to stop. We need to stop making people feel ashamed for what they choose for their lives. So, anyway, Remy and Papoose are going to be on Good Morning America.
Doing what?
Being Remy and Papoose, you know.
Oh, hey, girl.
But I was like, okay, all right, come on, Black people representation on Good Morning America. I was very happy to hear that. And then I heard some bad news. Oh, Remy was found in contempt of court.
Dang, Ram.
For failing to provide documents in a Vincent Herbert lawsuit.
She's pregnant.
Nigga. So basically, Vincent was Remy's manager, and they dissolved their relationship, I believe, earlier this year. He is being sued by his former record company, if I have that correct. And so they need documentation from Remy, and she's failed to provide those documents, and they're saying she has 30 days to do so. Or there will be, I don't know, I forget what the word is, but yeah, so she's been found in contempt of court for failing to provide documents. She's got 30 days to come up off some papers. So let's just really rally around Remy, because she don't need none of that. And I hope that she gets it all together, because I don't want to see, their family is in such a good place. I don't want to see anything happen to that. Like,
That would be nice.
So let's see. We'll see what happens with that. Safari. Straight. And Erica Mena are dating.
Ew.
I know. That's what I said. Exact word.
Ew.
Exact vocabulary. Ew was it.
I mean, Erica Mena is just not going to be satisfied.
Yo, Erica Mena is a succubus.
I just wish that she would just leave us alone. Like,
leave everybody.
Leave us alone.
Safari.
Leave us alone, girl.
I can't help but say his name like that. He is, listen, we all know he is foolish, okay? He is a clown, but he is hilarious, and he is just fun, okay? He's fun to watch. He's entertaining. He's ridiculous as hell. He's never anybody that I ever go for. I'm not interested in anything that Safari has to offer, played up, served to me. Not a single solitary thing. However, I do find him to be quite entertaining. And he seems like he comes off as like a good dude, like a foolish, ignorant fool, but like a good dude. And Erica Mena just, she just gives me succubus. Didn't she slap somebody in the club one time? I don't know. That child is always going off on somebody. The women of Wakanda are on Entertainment Weekly magazine cover. And they look beautiful, and I just love that that's how the year is ending, with Black women still on the covers. That's how the year began, with all of our bevy of Black women on covers, from Yara to Tracy to everybody who graced the cover of every magazine at the top of this year. So I'm excited to see that. I just thought that was just worth mentioning. Tommy Lee. You remember Tommy Lee?
No.
Pamela Anderson's ex-husband.
Oh, he's still living?
Yeah, I know, surprisingly enough. What was he in? Motley Crue? I can't remember, but remember, he was a drummer. Well, he says that, do you know who Travis Scott is? I have to ask you these things. Travis Scott is a rapper. He's also Kylie Jenner's baby's father.
Okay, yes.
Young man with the braids that won't grow.
I know of this young man. I do.
Yes. Okay. So he's actually, listen, I'm not going to sleep on the youth. Travis Scott album was actually very good, and I was not a Travis Scott person, and I'm still not really into him like that, but that Astroworld album was great. So anyway, his album is titled Astroworld after the Six Flags theme park that was in Houston. and that's where he's from. And Tommy Lee, I guess once upon a time had like he performed on a roller coaster on the stage. Well, Travis Scott set up a roller coaster on his stage. Oh, God. And Tommy Lee is screaming and hollering about how he ripped off his idea.
I mean, 12,000 years ago.
Sir, first of all, nobody knew that you were still with us. Second of all, the young man's album is called Astroworld, named after a Six Flags theme park. What makes you think he was thinking about your wrinkled prune face when he was putting together his set and putting together his stage decorations or whatever the shit is called?
I would venture to say that this what's his name, Travis?
Mm-hmm.
Travis might not even know
who you are. That boy was born in the 90s, sir.
He is just, okay.
He was born when you and your woman were at the height of your foolishness.
He has no earthly idea.
Not a single clue.
You might be. Like,
no. So get over yourself and like go on somewhere, because nobody even knew you were around. So, and then lastly, big trash. Oh, Jesus. Salim Akil, Mara Brock Akil's husband, has I guess he's being slapped with the lawsuit and has been accused of sexual abuse and misconduct against his former side piece. So,
okay.
The lady came out. I guess she's either I think she's a writer. She might be an actress, but don't quote me on that. And she made some very detailed and gross accusations. And when I say gross, I'm not saying that they were like lies, because I don't know. They actually are so detailed that it would be very hard for me to believe that those are made up. But the actual like details were gross. She said that he forced her to give him oral sex and peed in her mouth. Like, yeah, like just foul things, right? So he's being accused of that and being slapped with that lawsuit. She's also claiming that love is, I think a portion of that or a part of the idea or what have you was hers, is what she's saying, and that he took it and made it his own. But my problem with the whole thing, and I think it's all disgusting, I'm like, you know what? Get all the creeps out of here. Do what you have to do. Like, you cannot be sitting up here acting one way and you are acting a complete different way behind closed doors, and disrespecting women and so forth. That is never okay. I'm also disturbed too because as me and my coworkers were having a conversation about this, we started talking about Love Is, and then, we were trying to figure out where Mara's career began, because we knew it had to have been before Girlfriends, it had to have been before The Game. We're like, she didn't start there. So I went to go look her up, and just fun fact, she wrote for Moesha and she also wrote for the Jamie Foxx show. But I thought it was really, like, when I went to look her up, to look that specific thing up, her Wikipedia wasn't the first thing that came up. Her accolades and her credits and things were not the first thing that came up. Her husband's messy articles were all that came up at the top of the search page, of the search engine. And I'm like, not that we are not, because there are people like myself who are like, well, no, she's got a career of her own. She's got a great resume behind her. She's definitely proven herself and put her work in. But I just hate that the first thing you see when you Google her now is that. Mm-hmm. I just don't think it's fair to her.
It's not.
So
it's not.
That was that, and that's the last thing in the trash.
Well, we thank God.
Ooh, because that was heavy today.
Indeed. Okay.
Let's shout out a sis.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's turn the conversation.
My sister's popping right now, like.
All right, boys and girls, it's time to shout out our sisters. We've got an email from a listener.
Yes, we do.
I'm gonna read it right stinking now.
Look at
Okay.
those SpongeBob pants. Those are fancy.
Rest in heaven to what's the man's name? The man that
The
created
creator of
Sponge.
SpongeBob. I know.
He has gone on to glory. My God. And he was like 50 something. Gone too soon. Gone too soon. Gone too soon. Thank you, sir, for Krusty Krab pizza. It is the greatest pizza. Krusty Krab. Okay, let me focus and get back to the task at hand. You all right?
Yes, I'm cracking up at you.
Okay. Sisters, my name is Taylor. Hey, Taylor. I'm a recent graduate of Spelman College, class of 2018. All right, just a few minutes ago.
Come on, you type it fast.
Currently pursuing an MS in Foreign Service with a concentration in International Development at Georgetown University.
Team typing real fast.
Absolutely. She says, yes, I am. # team typing fast. You certainly are, sis. The season has brought a lot of transitions to my personal, professional, and academic life. I am riding the wave, but I must admit I get pretty lonely sometimes. Your podcast has been true light. Y'all are the girlfriend, study partners that I don't have physically here yet. Thank you for being there on this journey, making me reflect, laugh, and learn along the way. Oh, bless your precious little heart. I am actually writing to you all to shout out my big sister, Dominique, who is currently pursuing her executive MBA at the University of Oregon. Yes, Dom is also team typing fast, and she is also in Oregon. My God, today. She just launched her # for the culture scholarship, dedicated to her mother, Teresa Scotes, and our father, Michael Debnam. It's a $1,500 scholarship for creative college freshmen and juniors who love culture with a 2.5 minimum GPA. Interested applicants can get the application by emailing ddd@debnanscotes.com or visit www.debnanscotes.com. The app is due December 11th, so that's just in a few minutes. So guys, get your applications in. So Dominique personifies Black excellence in every way, every day. She is such an inspiration to me for her commitment to education, the arts, and most importantly, service to the Black community. Love you, Dom. Love you, Jade and Keia. Sincerely, Taylor Debnam, a proud baby sister. So this is awesome.
Yes.
Shout out to both Taylor and Dominique. For Dominique, I'm sorry. I keep saying Dominic. That's the man. That's not you. Dominique. I'm so sorry. Dominique, who is, both working on their master's degrees and not only working on their own careers, but lifting as they climb with this awesome scholarship for undergraduates. So we will most definitely leave the contact information, the application information, how you guys can apply to this $1,500 scholarship.
Yes.
Y'all know every coin counts, especially when you are a student. So I encourage, creative college freshmen and juniors who love culture to apply. A 2.5 GPA is really bare minimum. So you guys ought to have higher than that. Yes, I said it. But, if you're right there at 2.5, you can still apply. Y'all go ahead and get this money. Support the, is it Schultz or Scotes? I don't know. The Schultz family as they honor their father. And get your coins, at the same time. This is my kind of carrying on. So shout out to you, Taylor, for shouting out your big sister, Dominique. Absolutely. And shout out to your family for honoring your father in this awesome way.
Such an awesome way. I cannot wait to see what happens from that.
Oh, your mother and your father. Teresa Schultz and Michael Debnam. So that's what's up.
Let's move on to the kitchen table.
Oh, they do it. Boot season has finally arrived. I'm glad about it. This is the perfect opportunity to be the fall fashion trendsetter you always dreamed of being, honey, without spending millions of dollars to do it. Live up to your style potential with the membership at justfab.com. Millions of women say that JustFab is their go-to site to see what's new and trending and popping in boots, shoes, clothing, and accessories. When you visit the site for the first time, you can take a style quiz, and JustFab will personalize your shopping experience so your favorite styles rise straight to the top. You can shop as a guest, or you become a JustFab VIP like me and like Jade. Becoming a VIP is by far the best way to shop. VIP save up to 30% on retail prices and gain access to tons of other exclusive perks. So I filled out my quiz. You know what I'm saying? It is over the knee boot season. So I'm go ahead and, I got a flat and a heel, because I'm moving a particular age. I need to have options. I picked my boots. I put them in the cart. They sent them to me. Lickety split, easy breezy, beautiful boot season. So you can get your whole life. It's time to step up your boot game, sis. You can do that right now if you go to justfab.com/groan and sign up as a VIP. You'll get your first style for as low as $10. That's justfab.com/groan to get your first style for as low as $10. Justfab.com/groan.
Support for today's show comes from Thrive Market, an online marketplace that's on a mission to make healthy living easy and affordable for everyone. You'll get access to thousands of the best-selling organic foods and natural products at 25 to 50% below traditional retail prices. Whether you're vegan, gluten-free, or feeding a family, you can choose from 80-plus qualities to get everything you need, including non-GMO, fair trade certified, and BPA-free. From organic almond butter to lavender essential oil, Thrive Market carries everything you need. They have pantry staples, cleaning products, sweet treats, the best snacks, and much more at such an affordable rate. Thrive Market has an amazing mission that I absolutely love. They donate to veterans, to teachers, to just people in need. The mission is absolutely amazing. I get my packaging super fast. On top of that, I have very little packaging, so I'm not throwing away 900 boxes and bubble wrap and all kinds of those little weird paper holy things. I don't have all of that to get rid of. It's zero waste packaging. It comes to my door. The mission statement is absolutely wonderful. It is definitely my jam and my jelly and my peanut butter. So now with our special link, Thrive Market is giving you an extra 25% off your first purchase plus a free 30-day trial. That's 25% off the already low prices that Thrive Market offers. Just go to thrivemarket.com/groan to access this discount. That's thrivemarket.com/groan to access this discount.
All right, boys and girls, we're here at the kitchen table, live and direct. And I don't know that we have a formal segment for you because there's just a hodgepodge of things going on in our minds, and we're just gonna kind of brain dump here live on the air. Hopefully it will materialize into some meaningful conversation. But so Jade and I and Crystal, when we were on vacation, and I mean all of us really, just kind of talking about what's going on in the media, in the news, in the world today. And recently there's been a lot of talk about relationships and gender roles within relationship structures that has been highly charged and, problematic, if for lack of a better word, at least as far as I'm concerned. And I don't really know how else to have this conversation other than to just kind of share our thoughts on what's been happening in the world as regards to relationships and dealings and conversations, or the lack thereof, between men and women. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, and pardon me, I don't want to exclude any other, I don't want to exclude, any other relationship dynamics or relationship situations, like, any same-sex relationships or anything like that. I can only speak from my experience as a, straight cis woman, but I don't want to presume. And I was like, I'm not saying that you guys should leave the kitchen table. I'm just putting it out there as far as, what I'm hearing and seeing in the news and social media, and how it is affecting in me and the way that I think and how I exist in my life. So that's just as like a little disclaimer, but I'm hopeful that we can all have a productive conversation about what these things mean for us and for our families and for our futures. So one of those I don't even know his name. One of them dudes on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. I think the one that was in a relationship with Brooke Valentine. I don't know his name.
Neither do I.
It is inconsequential. But he recently took to the Shade Room and made a video. Basically, well, I don't know if he took to the Shade Room. He took to the internet and the Shade Room posted it. But he basically posted a video that was complaining about independent women, or women being so independent and vocalizing that they do not need men. I'm presuming men that they were in relationship with. And he was just really kind of threatening in his messaging. At least that's how I received it. It was just like, you know, if you all you do is talk about how independent you are and how much you don't need a man, then a man is going to find somebody who needs them. And, you know, why you so independent, you can just have sex with yourself and eat your own pussy and all other manner of crass commentary. And I don't know how else to talk about this, but to say that it was just the dumbest thing I have ever heard in all of my life. It is really dumb. Because I feel like I get this a lot. As a woman, as a single woman, and I'm even cautioned by other women about appearing to be too independent or having, you know, we're just kind of reiterating this need that this need that men have to feel needed. And I got a problem with that. And I just wanted to talk about it because I feel like, you know, I'm looking for a word. When we are sullying, when we are shaming women for independence, we are encouraging. When we are discouraging independence, we are encouraging dependence. And as far as I understand, dependence in relationship is an unhealthy situation. And I don't know if it is just a lack of information or ignorance in that people are conflating the terms dependence and dependability, because those are two entirely different things. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, how have we gotten to this point where it seems like we are speaking different languages?
Because I feel like, and I'm not going to speak for a whole, because there are a great number of men who are, not you. There are a great number of men who are well informed and are trying to, you know, change the common themes that we've kind of been taught throughout society. It's funny because, ironically enough, like, so at work, we have a really casual office. Everybody gets their work done, but it's a really casual setting. It's very small. So we like turn the TV on while we're working and work on the couch and whatever. So we'll play Netflix. So my coworker puts on a Samore comedy special today. And Samore is very funny. She's hilarious. You know what I'm saying?
She is. I like her a lot. I always have.
Always have. She's always been very funny, but it's so funny as, you know, I understand a lot, you know, when older, you know, ones in the older generations and whatnot say, and I probably said it at times, you know, like, damn, this generation is mad sensitive. You know what I'm saying? But there's a piece of it that is very sensitive, but there's also a larger conversation of us educating ourselves and learning how to be different people. You know what I'm saying? Learn different things. Like we have a slew of information about our about the non-binary and just so many new things that might not necessarily be new, but they're just newly discussed in society, I guess. And you know, we're becoming educated on these things. And there's just like a group that just don't want to advance. They just don't want to learn about it. And there's also our older generation. So she turns on some more special, and it's funny, and we're, you know, kikiing at some of the jokes or whatever. And then she gets into this conversation, and it's like dripping in so much misogyny and like letting a man be a man and that kind of commentary. And I was like, I stopped for a second and I turned to my coworker. I said, well, this is just problematic. And he was like, he's a young, I don't think he's even 30 yet, young black man. And he's like, it is. He's like, these sentiments are not this ain't where it's at. And I was like, it's not. Like, it's problematic, right? And he's like, it's problematic. You guys got to go find some more comedy special on Netflix. And I'm not saying that it's not funny, and I'm not saying there are not parts of it. She got a whole bit about being that bitch, that friend who is late for everything and is the sloppy drunk and so forth and so on. Like, it's a very funny special. But there is a piece of it where I had to stop and, like, my antennas went up like, this ain't right.
Right.
This ain't right at all. And I know that a lot of the problems, we had to answer your question in a very long way, sorry, to take the St. Lucian winding road. To answer your question, I think that a lot of the problems that we have come from like what we've been taught from our past generations, and that whole mindset of letting a man be a man and like making a man feel like a man, and this is a manly thing to do, and this is a womanly thing to do, and calling women females, and like I know that's from that trickles down from that.
Agreed. I mean, I'm reading a book right now called Eloquent Rage. It's by Britney Cooper. And she is really strumming my pain with her keystrokes and singing my life with her words. But yeah, it's called Eloquent Rage, A Black Feminist Discovers Her Superpower. And Britney Cooper is a professor of women and gender studies. She's at Rutgers University. I had the opportunity to hear her speak at the ASH conference. And I'm reading her book, and there's a chapter where she's talking about masculinity as demonstrated by her father and other people in her life as she was coming up, and how that has shaped, how she perceives, engages with men in her life currently, and some of her fears and anxieties around that. And she said something that was really, kind of struck me in terms of the ways that masculinity is taught or conceptualized to boys and men throughout their lives, especially within like the Black community or, communities of color, talking about their like 3 key ways that masculinity is demonstrated: violence, power, and dominance. And, if you think about ways that little boys are taught to be, like what it means to be a man, these concepts are kind of like the undertones of what those kind of key characteristics and behaviors are. And, I read it and it struck me, and I've been kind of like chewing on it all day since I read it last night. Like, is that really true? Thinking about how boys are taught to play, like, where they're not taught to be emotional, or they're not, all of that, and what that really means, and what that really means for men in relationships with other men, and men in relationships with women specifically. And it's made me think about ways that men want to assert their masculinity. This whole concept of feeling needed. Is it that they need to feel needed, or they need to have some level of control? And I wonder why we even think about things in such simple ways. I feel like there's a lot more complexity and nuance when we're talking about needs in a relationship, and why needs are always so quickly assigned to like sex and money. There are so many other needs, like, and you being in a relationship for real.
Oh, absolutely.
You probably can speak to this a lot better than I can, but I'm just thinking, just because I don't need you to support me or sustain me,
I need you to get up off that couch and come move this thing. Like,
I need you, or I need you for companionship. I need you for conversation.
For partnership.
I need you. Yeah, I need you. I need you to like do life with me.
Right.
I need you to help me think through things. I need you to be the sounding board. I need you to encourage me. I need you to have my back. I need, like, there are so many things that I need, and would expect from you that don't necessarily equate like dependence. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like,
and the thing about it is, not to cut you off, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Please.
The thing about it is, it's about the fact that y'all need each other.
Absolutely.
It is a support. It is literally, you need to treat it like a structure with support beams. And if one of those support beams breaks, the rest of it is going to fall. You need
Absolutely.
both of those strong foundations in order to make a complete structure that's stable. And so there are things that both of you have to bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? And that you're going to need each other for. But it doesn't need to be like, I need you to take care of me financially, or I need you to need me to take care of you financially. It doesn't need to be that type of mindset. I look at examples like my father or like Tristan, where, you know, my mother has had many ventures in her life, real estate, catering, you know, everything. And my father has supported her wholeheartedly and been, you know, along the way. You know, she's had some emotional frustrations. He's been there as a support system for her. And in the same capacity, my father has had his own business for some time. And my mother significantly helped my father with his business to the point where that nigga didn't know how to work a computer. He would literally like tell us to turn the computer on and then ask us to come scroll for something for him. Like, he did not even know how to work a computer, but he was running this business. And guess who's handling his proposals and his invoices and his email correspondence and all of that? My mother. And he needed her for that. He didn't even know how to do that. But the example that I got from them is that they relied on each other in different ways.
Well, I think that, I mean, when you say that, it's like they complement one another.
Exactly.
Right? So like it's about cultivating the synergy between the two of you, where, you know, where I fall short, you rise to the occasion, and vice versa. Right. And that's the kind of balance I feel like we should be aiming for in a relationship. But I don't even feel like we get that far, because there are these kinds of expectations or standards that we have, and they're divergent, right? So men expect certain things and women expect certain things. So I'm trying to figure out how we can get to the table where we can have a productive conversation about how these things can come together and start to converge in meaningful and important ways. I wonder if it's a conversation. So like, to me, okay, it's mixed messaging, and that's what's frustrating to me as a single person, because all my life I have been literally trained to be self-sufficient, and taught that, you know, my adulthood, my what makes me grown is my capacity to take care of myself. Right. And now that I am in that space and can thankfully do that, it's like the rug is being pulled from underneath me, and it's like, oh, but you can't do it too much, because then, you know, you're going to be, you know, no man is going to feel like he has a place in your life. But what I say to that is like, why do we like? That's so superficial. It's so surface, right? That's not. If a man would look beyond what he sees on the outside in terms of like my profession, or, you know, what he sees me doing, my projects, my purpose. If he looks beyond that and sees my heart and sees, you know, me as a human being with flaws and insecurities, and, you know, then I think the gaps are apparent, and vice versa. So I don't know. It is really frustrating, and to hear things like these conversations being had on social media, and people on both sides of the table agreeing and co-signing and double tapping. So it's just as many women double tapping this nonsense as men. And I'm just like, okay, so help me understand how I'm supposed to be a boss and Beyonce and independent and all of that, and I still got to be a coat and a lid and
God.
give birth to this grown ass man. So I mean, it's just a lot.
I think that there are a strong batch of raggedy ass niggas out there with a really awful ideology and opinions and really low self-esteem.
Right.
And those are the niggas who are saying these things, because if we look at women like me or the Budgetnista Tiffany or Joy Marie, or I'm naming all of these women who are in relationships and have been a part of our show in some form or capacity, Brittany Packnett, Dr. Joy, all of these women are partnered. They're married or engaged.
Yep.
And they're all doing shit with their lives. They're doing big things.
Yeah.
And not saying that they would not be doing those big things with or or without. They're going to be doing those things with or without with somebody there behind them, but it makes it so much better to have supportive partners. And you see those examples of men who are secure with their women advancing and being able to show that, yes, I can build this very powerful thing and it doesn't diminish who you are. We have all these women who are these wonderful examples of, they're doing wonderful things and they've got these men behind them. And I feel like when you have a person who is secure, they're going to root for you. And when you have a person who's insecure, they're going to feel a way about your accomplishments.
True. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I think that I'm not saying that quality men don't exist. I'm not saying that all hope is lost. And I am not at all over here being pouty patty about my situation. Mm-hmm. I fully am. I'm content in my season. I don't want anything I'm not supposed to have or anybody that don't belong to me. And I'm happy to wait my turn. I just feel like as the thinker in me, the researcher in me, the person who is curious, it's just really struck by the tenor of the conversation about relationships that seems to be present in the media. And I'm saddened by what I perceive to be a lack of strong models of healthy relationship, that are out here and available. Because I really feel like the implications of that will just continue to result in a lot of wasted time and poor decision making. And I can say that because I've been there and I've done it myself.
Right.
So I don't know. I just felt like maybe it would be worthwhile conversation for us to just talk about it, share my experience, our frustrations, our questions, to just see if others, have input and have things to add, or questions or anything like that. And just maybe we can get a conversation going about, what we can do. Like, is this something that we think we can address? And what are the ways that we might go about addressing it? Is it our place to address it, or do we just let it play out? And is it as bad as it seems? Because I fully recognize that it might not be as serious as maybe not serious is not the right word, but as prevalent. Even though it's really loud on my timeline and my television, I'm hopeful that it's not as pervasive of a problem in real life situations.
Agreed. Well, you guys chime in. Let us know what you think about it. We just literally didn't have anything framed. We just wanted to have a conversation because this ashy nigga decided to jump on the internet with his slew of terrible opinions.
Oh God! I mean, just honestly, if nothing else is taken away from this conversation, just know that dependence and dependability are not the same thing.
No, they're not.
And you should run from the nigga who wants you to be dependent upon him, because that is nothing but someone who wants to control you and is manipulating you to believe that you have to rely on them for your survival. And
that's gaslighting.
That's not a healthy basis for any kind of romantic relationship. You want somebody who wants to compliment you and recognizes your value and what you bring to the table and wants to bring that to the fore, who wants to help you to enhance that and maximize it and will partner with you to make that happen, and vice versa. Right. Don't allow these raggedy niggas on Instagram and on anywhere in your DMs or anywhere else they may find themselves. Don't allow anybody to trick you into believing that you need them. I don't know. I don't need anybody. You know, there are people who I love and relationships that are, you know, central to me and who I am as a person. Mm-hmm. But I don't need, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I feel ways saying that because I hope people don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But, you know, people that I love with my whole heart, I don't need them to survive.
Right.
They may be central to my happiness, essential to my joy, but those are circumstances. And as we grow through life, we really realize that, you know, there will be ups and downs and circumstances will always change, and you got to adapt to the circumstances of your current situation. Mm-hmm. But need for survival, you know, the only person I need is Jesus the Christ. I don't know anybody. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm just speaking for me in hopes that it will encourage somebody else. Because I mean, I was watching Portia and her hot dog dealing boyfriend, and I am really, really concerned for Portia's safety. I am concerned. I really am, because I don't feel like her situation is a healthy one. I don't know if y'all let me know if y'all agree, but I think Portia is in danger.
All I know is that nigga had like 100 pans of hot dogs.
I just don't understand. He sent over 100 pans of hot dogs to Cynthia's house, and she just like, this nigga love me. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, it may be 6-7 other broads.
Right.
It may be 6-7 other broads throughout the Atlanta metropolitan area that he is also supporting. Right?
Yes.
You know?
We're not sure.
And he has tricked Portia into believing that she does not need to ask him pertinent information about himself or his whereabouts. He's always like, you pressing me for information and pressing me for this and pressing. Like, what is that?
Nigga, what is pressing? Nigga asking you a question? Like,
Portia actually said out her mouth. She actually said out her mouth, you know, people be asking me about who he is and where he went to school and other questions about him. And I don't press my man for that information because the last woman who pressed him for that information is somewhere by herself. And I'm like,
nah, see?
Portia, do you hear what you just said, girl?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am, that's not how this works.
Not okay. And then if you turn the channel, just flip the channel a few more times, you got this donkey from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood telling women that they don't have to be independent. They need a man to survive. Oh, girl.
Get your little dick energy out of here. Nobody has time for it.
Sweet niece. Okay. Do you say that is so childish?
Oh, LDE.
It's so childish. So y'all just let me know if there are television shows that feature men with evolved perspectives, fully formed opinions that are based in truth. Let me know which channel that is. I will watch that. But for right now, I gotta contend with Caesar and Teddy.
Yes, you do. That's about as good as it's gonna get.
Right. It's not right.
You gotta listen to Caesar and his incomplete words.
Oh my gracious. I am so tired. I gotta deal with Joe Budden.
Yeah.
And Rich Dollars.
And
are you
Jewels
kidding me?
In his mouth. Ooh.
And I've been trying to tell y'all that your boy from Love is a scammer. Look at the proof in this
sis.
pudding.
What
Look
I said? You need to not trust this hotep young man.
I've been telling y'all that Yasir is the scammer since day one. Because I be knowing. I be knowing. And y'all ain't want to hear me. Y'all told me I'm a hopeless romantic. You're going to be a penniless romantic in a minute. And you're not going to have no T-cells while you're at it. Y'all better come up out of this romance. We too old for that. We too old. We just too old. You got to open up your eyeballs and be real about things, okay?
I knew Yasir was a scammer.
Yasir is a scammer.
She said, she asked every question that he could answer with yes. Do you have a child? Have you been married before? Are you using me? And this nigga said yes.
Oh, he said all of the above.
Yes. He said, yes, I am using you for a fresh start. And
she still gave this nigga free range and access to her home.
Oh my God. Had a key within 2 days.
I mean, honestly, and all because of the way that he made her feel, butterflies and all that carrying on.
She said, I'm not having sex with anybody until they are in this house, unless they are going to be my husband or are my husband. And guess what this nigga did?
They had sex outside on the porch. They was in the backyard in the mud. Yes, they were.
And then this nigga basically was like, you said you're not having sex with anybody who's not going to be your husband. Bong. Next thing I know, there's 1,000 candles on the floor. I don't know where those came from. And these niggas are having sex to Jodeci. So This
is why Candy Burris told us a long time ago that we got to stay prayed up. Because it's just so much out here.
She needs to also follow her own advice as well, and also in addition to. But
oh no, what's wrong with Todd?
Oh, nothing. I don't think Todd's just Todd. He's just he's just there. I don't think he's a scammer. I don't think it was Todd who came to hit you with the bullshit. I don't think.
Oh gosh.
now I don't. I understand the concern initially, with her late fiance.
Right.
With Todd, I just don't get anything. I'm like, he's just there. So
we can wrap this up though, because we gotta head on into the honesty box and close out the show.
And we have just been blabbing about chime in.
Exactly. Let us know how you feel about, we just get to the kitchen table and get to yakking.
Yes,
so
we do.
Join us and let us know what your thoughts are. Listen, relationships, love is or nah.
Or nah. Okay, so honesty box. Let today's sponsor, HelloFresh, take the guesswork out of meals week after week. With 3 plans to choose from, classic, veggie, and family, HelloFresh's meal kits make dinner easy. No more having to plan dinner, spend money on takeout, or worry about gathering ingredients week after week. Get that time back to do more of what you love, because HelloFresh's easy-to-follow recipes and pre-measured, responsibly obtained ingredients are all delivered right to your door in recyclable, insulated packaging. And it's all for less than $10 per serving with free shipping. And don't worry, you're not going to spend all night in the kitchen, because recipes only take around 30 minutes. It's so easy to manage. You can choose your delivery date to match your ever-changing schedule, and even pause deliveries when you're on vacation or have to travel for work. HelloFresh has literally saved my life. I'm able to take leftovers for lunch. We have dinner. It's actually a perfect serving per person. And it just it makes my life so easy. And on top of that, it's delivered right to my door. So I don't have to worry about going out to the supermarket. I don't have to worry about paying the $3.99, $5.99, $7.99 delivery fee, plus service charge, plus tax, plus tip, plus all kinds of things, because I need to order dinner. It takes half an hour, which is less than the time it takes for me to order food and receive it. So for a total of $60 off, that's $20 off your first 3 boxes, visit HelloFresh.com/Groan60 and enter code Groan60. It's like receiving 6 meals free when you go to HelloFresh.com/Groan60 and enter code Groan60.
Honestly?
Truly. All right, so let's get into the honesty box. It says, hi, Jade and Keia. I just saw you ladies in Atlanta this weekend and thoroughly enjoyed you both, along with Dr. Joy. Can't wait for your return. Nice. Yay, thank you for coming. You can call me tired, because that's exactly what I am, tired. I'm a 27-year-old out here trying to navigate this working adult world. I received my MED in higher education over 2 years ago. Team typing fast but tired, and have been working in higher ed for about 4 years. I currently work in an office with people who are old enough to be my mom and grandmother, and I constantly get reminded of it daily with the side remarks of, girl, you are too young to know about this, or you probably don't even know who X, Y, and Z is, whatever. I bet I know how to sort this Excel spreadsheet, though, but that's neither here nor there. The issue I'm having is I get asked to do several tasks in the office because I'm a fast-paced worker. I'm thorough and everyone knows the job is going to be done right. But I've noticed that people who have the same title as I do get less work because they're lazy AF and do absolutely nothing. But they get paid much more than me simply because they're older than me and have been working longer than me. It's upsetting because I work my butt off, sometimes too tired to get to my other job. Don't I deserve to be paid for what I do, or do I have to wait until I'm 70 to get paid to sit in the office and gossip all day? Sis, I don't have time. Let me know if my thinking is completely off or if I should prepare to discuss this merit increase. Help your sister out. Love you guys, and thanks for creating this space. You're making such an impact and don't even know it. Signed, Tired.
Aww,
Thank you, Tired.
Girl, okay, so real quick, ageism is real.
Yeah, it is.
And I feel like it's a function of being a young Black professional. There's always going to be an older person on your job who feels like because he or she is older, usually she is older though, they know more and know better. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, there are no neat and tidy ways to shut them the hell up. No. That don't, put you and your job in jeopardy. So I feel like, in these instances, when I find myself in them, I've mastered the, identifying opportunities to flex. Not for lack of a better word, though, but it's not even really a flex because, it's just the truth. You do your job, you do it well. There are ways to get older people together. There are. But you just have to be able and ready and willing to contend with the consequences of that, whatever fallout that comes behind it. If it's a merit increase that you feel like you deserve, we've talked about this before. You have to go to your superiors, your supervisors with receipts. If you want more money, you need to justify why. Mm-hmm. And your justification can't be because he or she is getting more and doing less. It's got to be, these are the things that I bring to the table. These are the reasons why I feel I need to be compensated in this way. And here's the proof, the evidence of why I feel the way that I feel. And these are two kind of separate things. I feel like asking for a merit increase may not have anything to do with the people, kind of riding you about your age. That's not going to stop. You kind of figure out what's most valuable to you, getting them together or getting your money.
Exactly. And, you don't, again, we spoke about this. I don't even know what episode, but a while back. When you go for an increase, don't bring other people into it. Don't talk, like Keia said, don't talk about what they're not doing. You talk about everything that you're doing. You have all of your ducks in a row, all of your I's dotted, all of your T's crossed, all of your examples as to why you deserve to get an increase as opposed to, well, I'm doing more than this person is doing. No, you just show them all that you're doing. You don't even have to bring anybody into it if you know that you are going above and beyond within your position. So, and then on the side of that, just have fun with them old people. Like when they start talking shit about what you don't know, like I bet you don't know who Travis Scott is.
Yeah, and you can kind of get back with them. Yeah. Especially in my instance, my very first job was like that, and I had a very, very, very talkative, chatty, nosy, but sweet, but just too much all the time, just intrusive, just a busybody older Black woman, right? who I really liked and ended up doing a lot for me, but just personality wise, she was just busy and very talkative. Like the baby could rap, honey, to just wrap you up and tie you in a bow, just talk nonstop. I got to the point where it was just like, okay, I know I do my job, I do it well. And when she say something to me, I'm going to say something back.
That's it.
So, like, she had a habit of coming into the office late, right? And she would, just kind of, we walked down this very long hallway. Her office was at the end of the hallway, so she had to walk by all of our offices to get to her office. And she would literally stand in the hallway and just kind of call the roll and talk to everybody on her way to her office. Kind of literally standing there holding her bags and her lunch and all that stuff in her hand, but riding me. Mm-hmm. And girl, well, what you doing? What about this and what about that? And how is this and how is that? And I just got tired of it one day. And was like, sis, why don't you go and turn your computer on and rest yourself for a minute? Then you can come back here, and if you want to ask me. Find little ways. Master the shade that throws itself, honey. It is a gift. It may take some trial and error, and that's the risk that you have to take. But there are ways that you can shade these older people to shut the hell up. You can do it. I'm telling you because I have done it. And I'm like, girl, why don't you go ahead and get to your desk and settle in, and then we can revisit this because you standing here holding all your stuff. And, you do it in the right way, get the attention of other people around her, and she'll be embarrassed. Yeah. And then she won't try you.
Like,
she won't try you.
I think I told y'all a long time ago about this older, heavy lady who told my mother, ooh, you gained, because she said, ooh, you gained a little weight. She had told my mom, ooh, you gained a little weight. My mom had a hysterectomy, the hormones was all out of whack and all of that. So my mom says, oh, well, I'm just trying to catch up to you.
Exactly.
And like, she never tried, she never said anything to her ever again.
All it takes is one time. All it takes is one time. And especially if these people are not doing their job, right? So just like you shaded her in the email, you can find ways to slide that in. Yeah. Like they say something to you, oh, you don't know nothing about this, and well, sis, you don't know nothing about Excel. Right. God bless you.
Nope.
And walk away. Like, oh. And then because eventually they're gonna come and ask you for some help or something. You just be like, oh, now you want to help me? Right. I'm old enough to help you now. Oh, okay. But you gotta just let find them niggas little know. Ways.
Be like, I bet you take blurry selfies and post them on Instagram. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like there are little ways. There are little ways, and I'm not telling you to go out and get fired. Don't
no,
do too much.
Not at all. But you can have fun.
I feel like we can nip this in the bud, right? Absolutely. We can nip this in the bud in a way, and just start somewhere.
Yes, absolutely. So
report back and let us know how it goes.
Keep those things separate though. You know what I'm saying? Just roast them niggas on the low, and then, but go and get your money. Go and get your coins, sis. You know what I'm saying? And do it in a professional manner, exhibiting all of the awesome things you've been doing in the office and within your position, and how you have gone above and beyond, and why you deserve to be paid more money. But on the other side of things, Gertrude and all of them,
Barbara,
Shirley, all of Frankie and Grace, all of them. You can literally have such a good time getting them off of you. I promise you. So like Keia said, report back to us. Continue to send your honesty box questions to gettinggrownpodcast@gmail.com. And if you don't give yourself a pseudonym, Keia and I love to give you guys a good name. So
yep.
We can't wait to hear from you, and we can move right on along to these petty peeves.
Let's do it.
And I want to be very responsible of the things I say to my sister, because everybody know I can be real petty. P-E to the T-T-Y, honey.
Okay, so my petty peeve this week is a little bit different. It's more about an article that a friend of mine told me about, because it was specifically about her elementary gym school teacher. And, so I'm just going to, anyway, yes. So there's the article that this is about is titled 10-year-old student forced to stand outside in rain, cold as punishment, mother says. Okay? No. So my petty peeve this week is about parents who do not acknowledge that their children are bad as hell. So as you read that article, clickbait, all of that is whatever. So you read that article, you hear that title, and you're like, what kind of, inhumane. That's why you have to watch who's watching over your kids, and blah, you can't trust nobody, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes your kids are just bad as hell. And I'm going to tell you why. So my friend was telling me about this coach, right? And I think it's in Atlanta. She was telling me about this coach, and this coach, she said, this is the reason. She's a huge sports fanatic. She goes, this is the man who taught me about sports. This is the man who, he was just encouraging to little girls out there. He made sure that we knew that we were just as strong as the little boys. When we played the games, he made sure that he put us together, you know, to let us know we were just as strong. We can beat them. He mixed the teams. He taught everybody everything there is to know. He is just like a pillar in the community. He's been in the Guinness Book of World Records. This man has literally been at this school for 40 years, right? So this particular article that I just read you all the title of, this little boy, so the mother says that the little boy was forced to stand in the rain as a punishment for him, you know, not being able to control himself in gym class. What happened was and she's saying that the man needs to resign from his position. This man's been teaching in this position for the last 40 years. He needs to resign from his position. And I think Georgia, the Board of Education, is saying that they're going to terminate him. Apparently, this little boy was acting a fool in gym. My friend has gone to this school. She said there is an outside area that is covered. And basically what happened was this kid was acting a monkey, and the gym teacher told him, if you can't get yourself together, you can go under this tarp and until you can get your behavior together. And the boy would not get it together and then left from under the tarp and went out in the rain and then went back and reported to his mother that the teacher made him stand in the rain, in the cold, and all of that. So my petty peeve, because there's a lot of parents out there I've noticed, you know what I'm saying? Like, your kids are not patron saints. They are not, you know, they are not these perfect little beings. There are good kids. There are kids who have some behavior issues. There are just all different types of children, just like there's all different types of adults out in this world. But your child is not special. Your child is not special. And you need to realize, I know if a teacher ever went to my mother and said some shit like, Jade, like she wouldn't get herself together and I made her sit her ass outside the classroom. My mother is not only going to agree with that teacher, she's then going to deal with me when she gets me in the privacy of the home. You know what I'm saying? She's not getting ready to go and call up the news and so forth and so on. This lady is training this child to be a psychopath. He is going to be able to get away with everything that he wants to get away with in this world. And he's going to be able to attain. He's already a little white boy, which means he's going to grow into a white man, which means there is a certain level of entitlement and privilege that he is just going to have off rip. And now you are instilling more of this privilege in him, where you guys are getting ready to eliminate this man who's been in the Guinness Book of World Records. The whole community is writing in and trying to stand behind and rally behind him because he's been the wonderful person in society for their children of all races. My friend told me that blacks and whites are getting ready to come together behind this man. And because you're a badass kid, you want your badass kid to be known for the kid who got this incredible man fired from his position because he couldn't get his act together. Somebody's going to beat his ass in the street. But anyway, I say all that to say that sometimes your kids are just bad. They're just bad. And you need to get them together. And if you don't get them together, you are now creating the monsters of the future. So that's my petty peeve this week.
Holy God. You had meant that.
I did. Because some of these kids are bad as hell, and these parents just enable them to just be awful human beings, and they grow up to be these disgusting members of society.
You said that with your chest.
It just makes me mad. That's all I want for my kid, man. People are like, yo, you need to put her in commercials. You need to blah, blah, blah. I'm like, man, I need to make sure that she's a decent person. That's what I need to do. I need to make sure that I instill in her as best as I can to be a decent human being.
It's important. It's very, very, very important. And I trust. I know. I'm not even worried. I know that that's exactly what's going to happen because we're not going to tolerate anything else.
Right.
From ASAP Noah. And that's the bottom line.
She's not going to tolerate nothing from us. What's your petty peeve this week, sis?
Okay, here we go. Let me just say this.
Mm-hmm.
There are, as a young professional, I'm learning that there are treacherous people.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
There are treacherous people who are thieves.
Oh, yes.
Who prey upon the innocent naivety of people who are, just venturing into their career path. And I take issue with that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you're going to be a supervisor to someone who is, coming under you as, an apprentice of sorts, then it's your job to develop them.
Yeah.
And protect them. And I just feel like there are a lot of professionals who take full advantage of the people who are they're supposed to be mentoring.
Yeah.
And I think that is whack sauce. So it's not really a petty peeve more than it's just like a stop being trash. Like, just stop being trash. Stop being trash. There's so much trash that happens professionally, and I think that's why it's important for us to build. And I say this because I know that there are lots of people who are like me, young professionals, people who are coming out of graduate programs and just starting their jobs, and they find themselves in situations and they're not safe. And it's just really hard. I got lots of friends who hit me up and people who reach out to me through Team Typing Fast, and they just let me know that, they're in really, really complicated, troublesome, just negative situations. And my heart goes out to them. So my petty peeve is for bosses who are terrible bosses and mentors who are terrible mentors.
Wow.
And I just wish that we could just do better, because I mean we're just so selfish. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone is so out for themselves that they can't even look out for the people behind them. And you don't realize when you compromise the progress and the success of someone in your office, that you compromise your success. You out here trying to outshine everybody, and you look stupid. I just want you to know that you look stupid. No, this is not about me or my job. I'm not talking. I'm in a good situation. Thank God. The Lord is gracious, and He sent me where I belonged.
Did.
But I'm just talking, speaking generally, running into women of all fields, not even my field, but all fields, academics, lawyers, people who are so insecure. You know what I'm saying? People who are so insecure that they don't even realize that you don't lose anything from helping somebody else. There's enough out here for all of us to eat. This is really, and I don't even want to, this is not even about making a plug, but one of the main reasons why I'm so committed to trying to build this network of Team Typing Fast. I'm not in it to get wealthy. I'm not in it to get famous. I feel like we've been trained up as especially Black women and women of color. We've been socialized to think that we're so special because we're the smart ones. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time coming up in our schooling, there often are not a lot of us, not a lot of people who look like we look, who are successful. So we feel like we're special, and we hold on to that. And that's how we identify ourselves. And when we come into contact with people who might threaten that, that's when we start to be messy. And I hate that about us, and that's something that I am committed to trying to change, because we will get so much further. You know what I'm saying? When we work together, collaboration will just take our collective impact to the next level. When we out here being petty and stupid and trying to tear each other down and stealing each other's ideas, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so dumb, and I'm over it. I'm overhearing about that. I'm overhearing, I pitched a show idea, and then you see somebody else taking it, and you like, I'm over that. And I wish that we would get to a place where we didn't have to do that. It's so stupid. Stop stealing. Stop being petty. And stop trying to ruin everybody else's life for your own personal gain. Because you don't win like that.
No.
You don't win like that.
You never will. You never will win being ugly.
That's what Nene Leakes said. And we don't give Nene her flowers because she said something when she said that.
Nene has said a lot of things.
Nene has said a lot of things. Woo Chile. Woo Chile.
Woo Chile. The ghetto.
The ghetto. But legit, we don't give, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just wish that we would get over that. That is so late. We as Black women are better than that.
Do better.
We create exactly. We are literally the nucleus. Like, we bring so much to the table, and it's effortless. So it don't take nothing for us to shine and be great. We own the room. We walk in it. They want to know how we do it. So we don't have to be so petty and so stupid. And like, we can celebrate each other. I love to give compliments. Oh, girl, you did that? Why? Because it don't mean that I didn't do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It don't mean that I'm not doing what I'm not, like, you know, what I'm over here doing. It don't mean that. I just wish that we can just, my best friend, one of my best friends called me and told me that she had a project at her job, at her former job that she pitched. And she since left that place. And, you know, now she's seeing that somebody took her idea. Now that she's gone, somebody took her idea. And it's like a thing now.
Oh,
so
no.
I'm just like, that is
Why
whack.
would you do that?
I want y'all to stop.
That's not cool. That's like, listen, I found out. Do you remember early? It might have been the first or second episode where I talked about that trifling ass boss that I had that was having sex with the girl underneath him, and he'd done it with multiple girls underneath him, and like was manipulative and so forth and so on. Update: he's still in a relationship with that girl. Well, let me tell you what they did, and I don't have no way. I don't feel no way about saying it. So they got hired at another agency, right? She got hired, and then she brought him on as a freelancer because remember she left her job and he lost his. So she brought him on as a freelancer, right? Do you know that they got a very large account, and they took the idea of another small Black business, how they advertised their business, and then they took the entire idea for this client, which is a very large business, and stole it so much so that the original owner of the video was able to do a side by side, and it was evident that the entire idea was stolen.
Terrible.
I was like, y'all niggas are taking your trash on to more agencies. This is just a mess. So, anyway, stop stealing. It's not cool.
Stop stealing. Stop being trash.
It's just not cool.
In 2019, just be yourself and be great.
And there's plenty of room for everybody.
They're so, like, listen, like I was thinking about like Super, you know, Super from the Crayon Case made $1 million in 90 minutes. Why? Because Super knows her lane, and Super gets on Instagram literally once a week and shouts out other Black business owners.
Does.
She shares every bit of information that she's learned throughout her whole process of doing this internet thing. You know, when she started out with the comedy videos and then she switched over to build her brand, she shares all of her tips, how to build a mailing list, how to build clientele. Like, she shares all of that for free, for nothing. She gets on Instagram and literally gets on live every day. She shows you how she does her makeup. She tells every product that she uses. She doesn't hold back. If people send her stuff, other businesses send her stuff, she promotes for nothing.
Yep.
That's why she made $1 million in 90 minutes.
Yep.
Because she's so secure in herself that it don't cost her nothing to help other people. Yep. And I wish that we can get to the point where we're doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, even the little ways. Like, I can't put nobody on right now. Like, I don't have, you know, we're still trying to get on, so it's hard for us to put other people on. But the little ways that I can be a help,
absolutely,
I will be a help.
Absolutely.
So like, I'm supposed to be doing a book chapter, working on a book chapter, proposing a book chapter for this book coming out on the experiences of Black women and Black girls and Black women in educational spaces, K-12 and higher education. I'm working on a book chapter, and I mean, you know, I need help. I can't do it by myself. Well, I'm trying to do it by myself, but you know, the deadline is coming. I got 1 million other projects. So what do? I reach out to a doc student, a Black woman. And I'm like, sure, it would be dope to be a sole author, but I can be the lead author and have a co-author, and it'll be an awesome, it'll be awesome experience for her and awesome experience for me. And it don't cost me nothing to have this girl to write this thing with me. And, we can learn and do it together. Yep. So I could have been, cheap and siphoned and held the opportunity to myself and didn't share it with her. But it don't cost me nothing to help this girl. And it actually helps me to have her help me. Mm-hmm. In the little ways. There are little ways. I'm saying if you don't have a business and you can't put nobody on and you can't promote on Instagram, there are little ways in your life that you can help people around you.
Absolutely.
And I wish that we would get to the place where it'd be okay for us to do that.
Well, we can start here because that's what we do over at Gettin Groan. And we hope that everybody who is listening can do the same thing. We can continue to support and build one another. You know what I'm saying? We love shouting out our Black businesses. We love shouting out those who are putting out scholarships and all kinds of things. Like, we love shouting you guys out, and it don't cost me and Keia nothing to do that. So let's continue to pay that forward. You know what I'm saying? And shout each other out. Continue to tell each other about Black businesses that are trying to build, patronize Black businesses, donate to these scholarship funds that are trying to help out these students of color. Like, let's just try to keep that going in small ways. And if we all do it collectively, little by little, they'll grow to great things, as cliche as all of that sounds. So,
absolutely.
With that being said, in addition to us continuing to build and support one another, we need to also make sure that we're staying hydrated while we do so. So we need to drink our water.
Absolutely. And continue to moisturize and tend to mind your business and also to moisturize.
Because your Black is going to crack if it's dry, and it's wintertime.
Absolutely. Especially now because it's cold as jacks.
Okay.
But bye-bye now.
Bye.
This holiday season, instead of standing in line for hours, head to Poshmark. Says the easiest way to buy and sell your fashion items. Find all your favorite brands like Nike, Lululemon, and more for up to 70% off. All from the comfort of your very own iPhone. Says today you can get $5 off your first purchase when you enter the invite code Groan5 when you sign up. Download the Poshmark app, sign up and enter the code Groan5 and get your life.